find out who worked. I think he found Clutch worked the best. They tried to use Clutch on Awoken, which was, I believe, the next map. And ultimately, I know it didn't work out. Team Liquid took that tournament, but I don't think we're going to see that today. You know, Dewey's he is a man of many talents when it comes to picking different champions in this game. But I think in this LAN setting, where there's the big bucks on the line, I think Dewey knows more than anyone else that it is time to knuckle down and have a strat before the map, not during the map.
Yeah, completely. If you start changing champions a lot in the middle of the game, it means that your cooldown is going to get reset if you spawn in with a different champion. So you lose those X amount of seconds, not having your ability that you can work with straight away when you spawn with your ability kind of intact. So you immediately put yourself at a sort of a time disadvantage. I think that some teams have been experimenting with some champion swaps, say before a power-up and getting your ability ready for it so you can attack onto it, but it's not really been a strategy that's been held onto by other teams, at least not. I don't think we're expecting that to happen at Dreamhack Tour. But I'm curious, is he going to go with Ranger? That's kind of the champion that he made a name for himself in Quake Champions? Or is he going to go opt in with sort of heavy meta-based champions instead?
Well, I think there's a reason they say hashtag #DeweyOrb, my dude, but I mean, it's basically like, we're going to find out the champions that we can see the warm-up right now, moments away from getting into this map, which is going to be Ruins of Sarnath. So this actually might be a map where we see Ranger get selected. Should it happen? Or are these guys going to keep with tradition? So Dewey going Galena first. Doesn't surprise me at all. And a Brick going with what looks like Visor. So this is kind of what we expected to see.
And that's what I want to see from them as well. I like this very strong picks. Galena with totems that you can heal with. You've got the Visor. It's got a 7-second sort of piercing sight. You can see the enemy players on the map, have extra information for your teammates. It's got fast VQ3 movement. It's a really strong partnership, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is really the staple pick for this map for every team.
I'm glad that we are seeing Myztro USA come into their element a bit more within the World of Quake Champions. Dewey's always been both, very talented at team modes, but dual. He's kind of where he made a name for himself. And then Brick has been looking for a team member that takes Quake Champions as seriously as he does for so long. I think he's found his home in Myztro Gaming.
Oh, for sure.
Wow, Picard, double.
Still double from him, so 3-3 at the moment. He's going to find a couple of weapons. He's trying to go aggressively onto the LG. And you can see that wasn't the most necessary rocket jump that I've ever seen, but you can see the kind of approach that he has. He's going to be in your face. FaZe getting a couple of decent rails. He's rocket jumping too, almost gets the follow-up.
That was such a sick play, but it didn't work out. Dewey answering back with the nail gun. That would have been an amazing frag, but unfortunately that final bit of execution, not quite right.
True, I wonder how things change for the teams now. It's stream time, and I know that Pompa, as I said, they've not really been competing a lot. In the first game of the day, they would have known, all right, we're not on stream. Maybe it's a bit easier to get that focus going. Now they're really exposing themselves to the elements, so to speak. And I know that Myztro, on the other hand, are far more used to being kind of the on-stage team, playing in front of a crowd.
Yeah, because I mean, they have experienced massively both online, in the online cups, of which there have been many. North America shouts Char and Tasty Spleen, but I mean, offline too, where there is a crowd of people. People are watching you in person. You're sitting next to the person you're playing with.
Ooh. Oh, the quad's down the bottom. He's not going to get it straight away, but he gets the drop. There's a bit more pressure from the Myztro guys. Machine gun from a distance, but they know can no longer really commit to that.
Pikawa is going to be railable. Not anymore. Of course, he's going towards heavy, so they're going to have that knowledge of where he's going to be. Taking this fight against Galena with the totems down and quad and a rail, it's a risky fight, and no wonder they're trying to play this runaway game.
Unfortunately for Picava, FaZe managed to get a kill. He's going to find a rail in close range just before the quad damage times out. And he's managed to retain control around this sort of heavy area. He really needs support from FaZe now. He's currently 1v2. FaZe is over at the LG. He should definitely be in the mix then.
Anywhere that was closer than where he currently was at the time, that was not much contribution.
But it's all good. Dewey, 125, full natural. Going in for the mega health, but that one is well and truly taken from the Pompa boys. He's getting little bits of splash, but now it's kind of setting up for the heavy. You can see that they're really focusing on the on the control. Recently, heavy's been going to Myztro and Mega has been going to Pompa, but it looks like Pompa have locked down both, and this control really helps paint a picture leading up towards power-ups.
Now, this level of control, I think, allows you to really sort of start to see how people. I think the score can trickle away. I know when these guys had fought off stream, I believe there's about a 15 or so frag difference in both of those maps, and you wonder if this kind of play is how that would happen, where it was was really close at the beginning, and maybe they would actually start to inch it away, and then the lead would get bigger and bigger before you know it, 15 frags unreturned. Speaking of which, here comes the power-up. 15 seconds to go. They're going to try and get the heavy first, because it will help them fight for it later, especially seeing as they just took out Brick.
I don't like the fact that Brick went down there on his own, but Dewey is guarding up by Nailgun. If he can get the frag and support Brick over on this, would help a lot. He's got himself protection. He's also pushing forward, gets the kill onto Pikawa. This is nice from Dewey, but he's taking a lot of damage from FaZe, I think that was.
Yep, and even with this protection, he's got to be damn careful. You reduce damage, you don't completely avoid it.
Nice help there onto Pikawa. Again, pushing, trying to get some vision onto the heavy armor. Won't get it. Nice movement as well from Dewey, making it over those steps.
FaZe gets completely ambushed. That's another frag down. Only one separates these two teams. And with that totem, Dewey's going to get some data as well.
Oh, almost the rail as well. He's hurting a lot, not hitting these rail shots. He's got Brick in front of him. Trying to get the heals going. That Mega Health's going to spawn in a second. It looks like Pompa have just completely vacated the area. Mega Health and Heavy spawn at very similar times.
That's three. I believe that's 3 rails in a row that Dewey has been unable to land so far.
That's a piercing sight rail. Brick's just holding back. You know what? Let's chill. Don't want to give anything for free against that ability of his. And really, they're kind of edging away from each other in these fights. It looks like they're about to run into a full 2v2 combat, but it's like, oh, the ability's going to, sorry, the item's going to spawn soon down below. Let's break away and get them ourselves.
Now we're going to see a very straight up 2v2 in this situation, but wow, Brick just goes in the blink of an eye. Dewey's in a bad situation now. Can he even things out? He can. The cover goes down. 2v1 now. Can he get this rail? 100 damage is always going to be welcome, but Brick finishes the job.
Good refrag as well, actually, just before he goes down. We're 1 frag apart from each other. Dewey really holding on tight to this mega area, and having the control of that room overall is going to help a lot with Quad soon to spawn there with them. But now it's time to see the Pompa guys. Are they going to be able to make it in here?
I was just about to say he's got to watch out, because there were 2 totems around that corner and he walked into both of them.
Ouch. So it is Pikawa. Chance to extend the frag lead a little bit. This heavy doesn't spawn for a while, so it's time to really... Oh, rocket damage from Dewey, but the rail does hit the mark. Pressure from Brick, who's trying to get himself onto the heavy armor. Unnecessary play from them there, giving 2 1v1s versus a quad carrier.
Yeah, I think taking the heavy there was too much of a risk, especially knowing that Pikawa was right near there. Dewey had just gone down. No doubt Dewey would have coordinated where Pikawa was at the time. I don't see any situation where he would survive.
How did he go into that totem?
Maybe they should have...
I don't understand, Ketchup.
I got this, mate! I got this!
What just happened?
And we just forget that ever happened. That's a good idea.
I don't know if I can. I'm struggling.
Well, Brick is in a spot of bother.
Sorry, back to normality. Hopefully for Pompa as well, because that was bizarre. A minute until we've got the next power-up going. Not too many weapons for Dewey at the moment. He's trying to make best of what he's got, going into the nail gun short range. Can he close out the kill? Oh, it does die. But there's going to be rockets on the side from Pikawa. And I'm checking now Brick, who's holding on to Heavy. Oh, he just pulls away. Manages to get the Heavy, but the switch...
I don't agree with that, but he does manage to... He stays true to his guns, so it does work out, but unfortunately, I think it was all the damage that they'd taken due to those missed rails that meant he couldn't survive that fight afterwards.
Yeah. He didn't have any LG ammunition at that point. He did have the machine gun, which I dare say was a better pick for him. But if you're hitting the rails, of course, then that would be the best pick, but you don't know until you shoot, right?
Now, we have the power-up spawning, which is no doubt why we're starting to see the fight take place in Rocket Room. FaZe doing an amazing job of keeping these guys at bay. Might go down himself, but no, the return rail.
Lovely job.
Dewey also loses it. This should be a guaranteed protection. Oh, he runs in, but Pikawa super stacked.
Oh, he's under pressure though. They can actually do enough damage to him. We've got LG coming out. He's going to go down.
Also, he just got pummeled in actually the head. He was standing on his head with the pummel.
Mad skills. Oh, rail's coming out. Dewey's a little bit weak. Brick's going to be able to close out that kill. This is now really painful. All of a sudden, Dewey doesn't want to go for that health bubble. And he's going to find a bunch of hourglasses.
And the time it takes to go and heal, I mean, he's losing all of the protection. So it's going to allow Pompa to stay in the lead. That one rail basically meant no more frags would be taken that whole time.
But you know what? It's good. You don't want to overplay a power-up just because you happen to have it. It's far worse to give up the power-up than it is to say, you know, do these rushes with low HP and just risking it, at least at this stage of the game. When we're talking about with Cyberfy and Liquid beforehand, that's a different question.
Yeah, bets it all. Bets it all on that instant little flick rail, but didn't work out. Brick completely alone and still using the jump pad. I think that's a huge mistake. Ooh, Pikawa just timing that mid-air. Easy.
Well, they've got the 6-frag lead. See if they can kind of coast their way to a win. They just have to really hold on to this advantage and they're going to be fine. So we're going to need to see a sort of string of good plays from Myztro if they want to come back over the next 5.5 minutes.
In a lot of these situations where it looks like Myztro might be in a position to actually, you know, get the turn of momentum going in their favor, Pompa do such a good job of basically just making sure that no matter what Myztro are doing, they're still losing frags, like one here or there, which just allows them to stay in the lead. So even though it looks like Myztro are doing well, Pompa are still one step ahead every time.
It is a very important match. Loser of this game is out of the tournament in day 1. So
we did say there
everything to play for.
There were going to be situations where people were going to be, you know, not satisfied with their performance or not satisfied with the result. This could very well be one of those moments. Myztro USA going out first round is honestly not actually what I expected.
Oh, Dewey though, he's got a decent stack actually. He's going to hit a rail early on. That heavy spawns relatively soon.
Not going up the jump pad because it is a huge risk, even with quad damage.
Okay.
Ooh, hello.
There's a gift.
I mean, FaZe, he's been running into these totems all day,
was that the one over? Oh no, I was going to say, is that the one under that light armor? But no, he didn't run into that one. That would have been hilarious. He's going to find another target, looking for a rail shot. Ooh. There's 2 targets there, but he can't seem to hit any of them, unfortunately. They're just hiding that angle from him, and he's now going to set up for this heavy armor that spawns momentarily. A lot of pressure from the side. They hear the bounce pad go off again, but Brick is able to secure control of heavy armor. Let me go find Brick.
It's a win for Brick in the sense that, you know, there's only a 2-frag difference. And I like that totem, so it's going to make him a lot more healthy. No wonder we're seeing Brick go in for this fight. Can he secure it? A 2v1 FaZe, kind of running into that one. I think Pikawa, I'm sure he would have let him know that he was running out of that fight, but FaZe went in anyway. And that's a 2 frags. Completely not turned back. Is Brick going to chase? Yeah, of course not. That would have been very risky.
I think there was a pummel waiting for him on the other side. He does hit a bit of rocket damage over there. Heavy's up, and unfortunately for Myztro, it goes over to Pompa. He's trying to get a little bit of damage out before he loses those last 10 points of health. Mega control is for them. I'm sticking with Dewey. He's got 4 totems up, actually. That's a lot of totems.
Oh my god, what a rocket from Pikawa. FaZe is on 1 HP. How many totems he's just going to eat for breakfast?
He's just running them constantly.
Almost that one.
Oh my
Almost
god.
that one. My god, you just mentioned that as well.
Oh, nice shot, Pikawa.
Pikawa's aim in this map has been most impressive.
He's been doing well. Let's have a quick look at scores. He's actually leading the frags, 23 for 16. FaZe has been struggling a little bit more. Apologies for missing that one, but you can see Brick and Dewey are actually fairly even on the board themselves. Oh, they're both trying to get the protection then. Maybe a small communication breakdown, but despite that, it's still good for them with the protection in their hands.
Ooh. FaZe going with that quick rocket movement.
Uh-oh. It's trying to run. Please don't chase me! But there's no hope for Dewey.
There are certain situations where if someone's got movement, and the thing about one thing FaZe does do really well in this game, I think, is his movement's actually really strong. But it kind of that's why he's so aggressive, right? If you're going to be really aggressive, you're going to know how to move, you're going to know how to rush.
Oh, that's something he almost prioritizes. It helps him get into the fights as quickly as he can. Currently an 8-frag advantage now for Pompa. FaZe getting that piercing sight early. Rocket's good. Rail can't quite follow up, unfortunately, but he gets one after.
Misses the easier one, but definitely lands the harder one for sure. But movement being so key for FaZe, you know, during the sacrifice days, he was always the one playing like the Anarchy.
Yes.
He was the guy that was rushing around.
Well, he comes from the CPMA mod of QUAKE 3, where you had to have brilliant movement, and it was that Anarchy type movement, CPMA, which you might hear again in the future, guys. And now trying to work his way to stardom in QUAKE Champions. Ooh, okay.
It is starting to escape Myztro, and that's actually what I mentioned earlier, where we had about like a 15-frag difference or so by the end of the other 2 maps when these guys fought in the upper bracket. It looks like history's currently repeating itself. It could be the exact same result.
It is.
7 frags for Pompa, and then it would be 3 for Myztro to basically repeat the scores that we were seeing before.
Oh, Brick getting a kill. Now, this is really the last call for Myztro on this map. They need to be perfect from this point onwards. They need to get quick kills. They need to lock down the quad damage, and they need to have a great run. And in order to get that going, they need to have the piercing sight ready after they take quad. So I think even if they pick up the power-up, they're not going to be able to get enough information to get those frags fast.
It's going to allow Pompa to really play that sort of waiting game and wait it out. Yes, they've got a double kill. Unfortunately, even then, we can't. We have to look at the timer. There's basically no time left, right? 50 minutes, this match is going to be over. Myztro, this is a good start, but they need a lot more work to do.
You can't afford to go for heavy. You need to use every single second of this power-up for the greater good, and that is kills and kills only. Dewey is, I mean, they're getting frags, and they're completely unreturned at this point. Is he going to have to find them up here? They're right behind you.
Oh man, the time it's taking them to also not find the competition as well is every second gone is a second wasted when you've got 20 seconds left of the map. They need to get 5 frags and they can't concede a single one. 4 frags to even things up. 10 seconds to go. They're going to delay their respawn. They're going to delay their respawns.
Surely. A valiant effort from Myztro at the end, but you could see that Pompa's strategy in these dying seconds of map 1 is really just scatter from the map, be as hard as you possibly can to be found. We know that the lead that we built throughout the game should be enough to hold on to this victory. And you don't want to make risky plays. You don't want to just keep on fighting to get to 50. You're playing to get to day 2.
Exactly, and also, you know, delaying respawns as well. When it gets that late and it's, you know, there's no way they're going to say, well, if you do go down, just sit there.
Yeah.
Take like the extra 2 or 3 seconds or whatever you need.
I think it's 7 seconds maximum you can get if you delay a respawn before you're automatically forced into the game. It's in the sort of ranked rule set. And if, say, that happens during a power-up, maybe you could escape 1 extra spawn fragging opportunity from the power-up user. But it makes these little difference, can help. Now,
score-wise, it looked very similar to what happened when these guys fought earlier in the tournament. You know, we were heard, basically it was kind of like a 15 score on both those maps. Just to remind you guys, the score was 2-0 when these guys fought beforehand. But there were more signs of life from Myztro USA in that map in particular. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, like this is the final call for them. This is their final lifeline. If they lose this map, Myztro USA will be out of the entire tournament.
Exactly. Not making it to day 2 would be dramatic for them. They're going to be pushing hard. I felt like they were pushing really hard in the first 5-6 minutes of that game versus Pompa, where it was incredibly even. But I don't think their power-up play was really on point enough to lock down any kind of frag advantage, the real frag advantage at least. And when they did get the power-ups, they maybe weren't pushing quite as hard as they could. They were really favoring item control over just spawn control of the enemy. So maybe get a bit more flair, be a bit more like FaZe for a second, who's really ready to rocket jump at you even if he's got nothing but a final rocket left or something.
But I feel like that kind of play from someone like FaZe will be quite scary in these tournament situations, because what he's showing is he's not afraid to do those.
Never afraid.
He's not afraid to do those things in tournament when sometimes someone might second guess a decision of theirs. FaZe just doesn't care, and that is a very frightening opponent to go against. And
in a map like this, it could be a powerful strategy sometimes. It is what possibly is the last map for Myztro USA as they go versus Pompa on Corrupted Keep. I'm checking out Picava to start with, and they do get an early kill. But let's see, the challenge on LG begins. I do see a Doom out here from Dewey. Let's have a quick look at the champion compositions. They're both a double Doom and a double Galena.
Complete mirror match. I think Doom, there's actually a funny old map, seeing as LG is so heavy. Doomslayer obviously has to be really careful with that double jump. You double jump in a bad spot and there's LGs all over the place, you are dead. Oh.
Okay, tasty rocket.
Has brought them back into the fight. But with no rail on this map, actually I think the rail in particular was a star weapon for Pompa on Ruins. They were able to play that hyper-defensive game. Those defensive rails just didn't stop coming. And even when they had power up in their situations, or those situations where Dewey would have protection, one rail would force him away from the entire fight. That isn't going to be as likely on Corrupted Keep.
The one part of this map where the Dooms could suffer is that LG is incredibly powerful against that champion. If you're going with the double jump, which is Doom's passive, if you're found in the air and the opponent's got LG out, especially if they've got strong lightning gun aim, you can get punished super, super hard.
Here comes that Mega Definitely looks like Myztro USA were in control. Actually, no, is he going to just run in and steal it? Wow, actually surprised Dewey wasn't prepared for him to just kind of run in there and collect it.
Yeah, dropping the ball a little bit just there, Myztro on the mega health. And we've got FaZe who's just picked up the heavy as well, so item control completely out of it for Myztro. And this could hurt as it's 10 seconds away from the first power-up of this pivotal map.
Dewey goes down, and unless he spawns near the rocket launcher, I don't think he's going to have the equipment he needs to fight for this quad.
Let's see, FaZe is incredibly low. Dewey gets it with a punch!
Wow,
he's over there with quad!
But that's why we saw the Berserk, because he just respawned. I think he understood, I don't have the weapons to fight for this quad. I may as well use the speed boost of the Berserk, and then when I'm in Berserk, I'm going to get those one-kill punches.
Oh, he doesn't quite catch over there, taking a lot of damage.
Oh my
Machine
God.
gun comes out in the end. He's got heavy behind him, and he's got a couple of health bubbles too. Well, that was a moment to sweat for a second. And again, he's failing to pick up this item. Double jump through. Dewey's still going to survive and will hold on to quad till its dying seconds.
I think that was the best case scenario quad for Dewey, where he didn't lose it. He just got loads of frags, didn't go down for cover. Obviously, taking him out as well. But the suicide might have actually knocked himself off the map, or tried to do a close-range rocket. It's another Berserk FaZe. Not afraid at all. And that's one benefit Doomslayer's going to have. When he spawns and he's got Berserk, if you don't have the weapons to fight him, it's hard to actually take him out. Because it's 75 damage a punch. He can punch like 3-4 times per Berserk, if he's doing it quickly anyway.
Definitely the weapon of choice would be the LG going against him. FaZe does take a little bit of damage, but they eventually get Dewey. Pompa, 2 frag advantage. Is it going to be any more in a second? Let's check out Picava. Yeah, Dewey diving into LG. Don't like that play from him. But here's Heavy. Brick ready to take that one, but he just gets a nasty rocket. Picava moves backwards into the heavy, takes away that item before going down, so at the very least it's good denial from him.
When you're in the lead, I think sometimes obviously it's not just about trying to stay in the league and give yourself an advantage, just take away anything that could be considered an advantage from the other team. If you're taking away those pickups when they desperately need them, because that's how they get back into the fight, it's still a win for you.
Oh, that was nasty damage taken on Brick just after that. It's got taken, and FaZe is going to be on the other side of the teleporter, hurting him a lot. Rocket off the wall, but in the end, FaZe is still getting the frag afterwards. We've got protection in a second. Dewey with 1. Can he get himself another? A bit of extra damage. They've got to call out for the top where he is, and Dewey does find it. Brick, though, he's the man of the hour. He's got protection.
And he needs to use it. There's 3 totems on the map, so I think he can retreat if need be and get that health. One of the totems is going to go down. Obviously, the totems a couple of patches ago doing more damage than they used to, which is one of the reasons Galena is so dangerous in 2v2. 100 damage a totem? Come on now.
He got absolutely owned, though, moving into that area. He was bounced everywhere of rockets. His stack wasn't that great, and he couldn't finish the frag off and Picava quick enough. And now FaZe, who's just had the megas, look at him, how rocket damage he took. Fortunately for him, he has so much health that 66% damage reduction is going to do the job.
Absolutely. Minimal damage on the rocket, but again, we're seeing the Dewey. It's the constant use of the double jump when he's near the LG room. I think it's a huge, it's a risky thing to go for it.
Pompa going to be feeling quite comfortable now, I think. 10 frag advantage. Important thing for them to do is not lose sight of the objective. Sometimes when you have a big frag advantage, you can kind of feel, all right, let's reduce our risk. Let's only make certain plays, and you can end out psyching yourself from the map. I want to see Pompa pushing like this all the way to the end.
Because I think if you know that the opponent's team as well is 1 map away from being eliminated, there's no way Myztro USA aren't feeling the heat right now.
Yeah.
You know, they know exactly what's on the line. Every single death they take and every single power-up they don't collect, they're going to know that could be the thing that sends them out of the tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be really felt for them. FaZe, LG is good enough. He's got 10 health to go. There's no health bubbles in close proximity, so he's going to traverse a little bit. There we go, 60. Looking better. There's a totem on the ground. Oh,
now with 10 seconds before that quad. The thing is, FaZe has got his Berserk. Dewey, so yeah, he's not going to have it. Because he'd used it a little bit to secure that frag, he's not going to have it to fight for. But it gets popped by FaZe, but completely wasted. Dewey with the double kill. And Brick now with quad, mega, and a ton of lightning gun ammo.
Heavy gets taken, but it's a nice frag regardless. Then finds FaZe on the side. They do try to team up on him a little bit, and it doesn't work out. There was a 10 frag advantage. It's now only 4. They get 3.
Yep, and plenty of it left to go. But unfortunately, with 1 health, can only do so much. This has been that was a great power-up run, I think,
That
from
was
Myztro.
immense for them, absolutely immense. They're going to close out the run with the quad that was on their side. Oh my God, what a rocket, Dewey. He's going to get another, he pushes him off, and a mid-air! Dewey!
One more.
Going astronomical right now, keeping themselves in the tournament. There's only one frag between them, they're going to get Pokawa. It's 29-29. And where's that frag lead gone, Pompa?
I mean, look, if there's one person I think that is showing right now that the pressure of the situation is not getting to him, it's clearly Dewey. This is a killing spree and a half.
This is possibly tournament lifeline saving moments.
And Dewey knows it. Like, he knows this is when I have to come online.
He's been under a lot of pressure in the tournaments that he's been in. He's looking for a mid. No, he changes it over to the LG, which is a good switch from him. It is a 1-for-1. Brick, is he there to exchange the frag?
Oh my God, I'm surprised he survived. What's his health?
15 he had at the end of that. That's a very hard angle for Brick to go against. I think he was hoping, you know, I hope he's weaker. But he was hitting quite well considering.
Yeah, definitely. Myztro, they've taken the lead.
Wow.
The question is, are they going to run away with this? We have 25 seconds until protection.
We've got to stay on Dewey cam, surely, because this guy's been going Super Saiyan right now.
Depends on his level.
What are these rockets that he's hitting? FaZe end up suiciding somehow.
I mean, that's
possibly because of power preparation.
Yeah, I think so.
Totem damage onto FaZe. He gets crushed. Here's the protection. Dewey's like, I'm ready. Wait, they were stolen!
What?
He got the run pass.
How did that happen? He literally just ran in and went, see you later, losers, and just grabbed it.
I see with the power-up mechanic, it's really the last person to move on the power-up as it spawns that can take it. So if you're running past it as it spawns, you're going to have an advantage over someone that stood still on the power-up.
Oh, that was literally
So
joink.
it was right on the frame, basically. He got onto the power-up tip box. So nice last-second play from FaZe.
He completely gave it away.
That's crazy. I don't know how that happened.
I think challenging that angle in general was risky, because obviously you have to jump to get up the stairs. And if you're going to be trying to double jump or jump in general as Doomslayer, and they've got LG, the only way to get up the stairs is to run, and you're dead anyway. That was not an angle he could take.
Oh, and while it's a 2-for-1 for Pompa, they needed to get that. We're 6 minutes till time, but I don't think we're going to get that far, because Myztro USA are 11 kills from securing map 2 and sending us into our first tiebreaker of the day.
I mean, Dewey just racking the frags up from start to finish.
I've got to go over to this guy. Let's have a quick look. He's on 28 right now.
My word.
Oh my God. And when you, yeah, as you're saying before, when you really need to shine in these critical moments.
But not to take away from Brick, of course. He's winning his fair share of these 1v1 situations, so Brick's doing his part, but Dewey is just putting in the work.
He's going to find another. Gone through the teleporter. Both of the players are there. Dewey's going to close it out. I'm going to stay with Brick a little bit, though, because he's got a good stack. We've had such a swing from a 10 frag advantage from Pompa to now an 18 frag advantage, going 8 in the favor now of Myztro.
I definitely don't think we're going to go to a timeout. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, going to be the final power-up of this map.
Heavy was taken. Good rocket again.
Oh, he's
LG.
dead. He's got to be so dead right there. That is not a situation you want to be in.
We've got power up in a second. Oh, whoa, last second rush! FaZe does it again. There just wasn't enough health. I think it was Dewey he tried to take it to start with, but the stack was not with him.
A couple of little fumbles actually as well, landing the rockets on his teammate. He actually did some self-damage as well. Any damage you take right before power-up is damage you don't want to deal with. Because, I mean, it just, right there. FaZe runs in and just punches you both to death. How about that?
Let's see if FaZe can pick up Pokawa on his shoulders and drag him across the line in this map where they still need 6 frags to go. We could get another power-up if Pompa really play this smart.
Yeah, if they slow it down and they don't take any unnecessary risk and give up these frags. Hang on a minute, is it 2 for 2? No, it's 1 for 1 so far. Myztro, 3 frags left to go and Pompa needing 9. This is definitely not in their favor, but it's definitely possible. Pokawa with a suicide must have traded it out. So we're actually at the same situation we were at just now.
I was going to say, I think Dewey was hoping for a 1-for-1 exchange because he'll put them on 48. But no, setting Pompa back another frag, it's not something that's bad also. We've got a frag also from Dewey with the Berserk. He's going to go down to FaZe.
Absolutely weak, so FaZe is more than happy to clean that one up. 2 frags versus 7. I mean, this is one of those nail-biters, I think. Actually hard to count out. I know Myztro, 1 more frag. Pokawa is in danger. A great spawn for FaZe, spawning near the rocket. He can now fight.
Let's check things. I think Pompa are going to want to stick together as much as they possibly can. That's going to be the only way that they can survive. They've got to get each frag unreturned. And Dewey's like, I want to close this out right now. I don't want to get over to the prediction and have FaZe steal yet another. He's taking damage, but it is Brick who closes it out. What a comeback from Myztro, and they manage to hold the lead and send us over to a tiebreaker.
I think Myztro USA is showing us why they are seasoned tournament players in Quake Champions.
I want to ask a question. Do you think it got to Pompa?
I think there are a couple of moments where it kind of seemed like they kind of just sort of like stole the lead away, and then they started to run away with it. Now, when that happens, it normally suggests that there's going to be a little bit of frustration. Maybe the decision-making on point doesn't quite go to plan. You kind of pick fights badly. FaZe being really aggressive, it kind of basically, long story short, it worked or it didn't. And he was dedicating no matter what. But I think the times it didn't work were less punishing than as rewarding the times it worked were. That said, next map is going to be really interesting, because I think if Myztro are really feeling themselves and they're looking good and they're feeling good, are they going to basically have an early start here? Are they going to continue that momentum?
That would be such a bite in the backside for Pompa as well. You know, they won the game in the winner bracket versus them. Sure, it's good they get a chance to go straight into day 2 if they manage to beat Sleep to Awake, but this is the game that's, you know, all to play for still. Pompa are, you know, FaZe and Picada, 2 young players. I think it would be fair to say that they're quite... okay, it would be really diplomatic of me to say they're emotional players. It would be more fair for me to say they actually rage quite hard sometimes.
Hey, sometimes you got to say who doesn't.
I hope that they're able to like really hold themselves high in this game right now. You know, forget that loss, don't dwell on it, move into this next map, start from scratch, and really just try and keep that focus all the way through.
Every time we talk to, you know, the best Quake Champions players and interviews and everything else, it's always, when the pressure's on, how do you stay composed? And the answer is always the same. I play it one map at a time.
Yeah.
I forget what's next. I forget what just happened. I play it, it's not even a map at a time. It's always like, in Duel, it's a life at a time.
Yeah.
It's a champion at a time. You forget about everything else. Now, if you are a young player and you're kind of prone to like frustrations and things like that, then maybe that can get to you and it makes your decision making not so good. That said, Pompa, they've been looking really good in the tournament, but not an amazing start for Pikawa, completely sandwiched by Myztro USA.
This is the tie-breaking map in this Group B game here at Dreamhack Tour in the 2v2 Open. And Pompa need to step it up right now compared to map 2. But
kind of in a precarious position right there, but the fight wasn't taken.
Who do you favor in this before we get into the real depths of this map?
To be honest,
are you favoring?
I actually favor Myztro USA.
Really?
I feel like their LAN experience might come forward here.
Okay.
And because we've seen that quite consistently from other teams, where the second it comes to maintaining a level head and showing your experience, we've seen that work more often than not.
And Brick is a LAN winner in Quake Live as well. The guy's got a wealth of experience in his own right. So for them, handling the pressure is going to be critical. And I think I'm going to go with you. I think Myztro are going to take this because of that experience they got to fall back on.
And Dewey himself, Dewey's been quite the Quake champion superstar in America. He's a fan favorite.
Wow.
He picks a lot of unorthodox champions. He's really entertaining to watch. And in tournament, he does bring his game.
For sure. Well, we're on Dewey now, but I'm going to cycle through a little bit.
Perfect timing, Zoo.
We've got a bit of a difference in the champions being selected. We've got FaZe with the Doom, Picava Galena, Dewey Galena, and Brick with the Visor.
Now, there's 2 different dimensions here, right? The Doom selection on this map means that the mobility of Doom is going to be completely unhindered. There's nowhere Pompa want to be that they can't be at any given moment because of that Doom double jump. On the flip side, Myztro are going to have the Vision. And with this being a rail-heavy map, Vision is in many ways the most important thing.
Yeah, it's going to be really important. I do slightly prefer Myztro's composition at the moment, but really the proof is in the pudding. Brick going to rocket jump across, knows that the power-up soon is going to set up for it. FaZe goes down, did land the rail. He's going to switch weapons though, rail too risky in this instance.
Absolutely wonderful weapon switching. He'd gone for those point-blank rails before, it didn't work! FaZe gets absolutely annihilated right there. Pikawa picks up with the quad, takes out Dewey, gets a double kill, puts them back into the fight, but still needs more frags to take the lead.
Really important.
Bad jump pad there, Brick.
I think there was some desperation from Brick, just trying to get rid of it, knowing that some damage has been done to him. But it's yet an important play to steal away the quad, so no one's going to get a clear advantage moving into the next stages of the map.
Pikawa actually delaying his jump pad usage. doesn't want to get completely overwhelmed, and oh, telefrag. Actually, been a while since we've seen one of those from a teleporter.
So we've got another push up the bounce pad, looking for the mid-airs. Risky play, but Pikawa will punish instead.
It has actually put Pompa, though, back into the fight. That was a great sequence from Myztro, but hang on a minute, they've taken the lead.
Very good rails from FaZe, hitting that 100 damage zoom rail that he needed. I think there was exactly 100 collective health and armor that Brick had.
I think FaZe kind of limited as to what weapons he can actually kind of use to poke these guys down with. That's going to get swiftly undone now he's got a rail in hand.
Lots of chip damage happening over there, forcing the health bubbles out. That's going to be Dewey taking down Picava. Takes no damage in return. It looks like we've got a sort of split on the map almost, like Pompa really prioritizing on heavy and Myztro on the mega health. But both these teams are going to want to change on that and lock down both.
Yeah, I think locking down the Mega at this point is going to be really good for Myztro. Obviously, with the power-up spawning so soon, it means they kind of control that part of the map that you want to have control of, with the power-up being as crucial as it is in 2v2. Fresh out of the teleporter, FaZe gets one, but Brick returns. Very weak indeed, though. It's likely going to be Picava. Yes, it will. And with the protection spawning in 5 seconds, Pompa looking good.
Going up with the nail gun. We've got FaZe on here. Just a couple more seconds. He needs to survive. Is there a last-minute rocket? No, there isn't. FaZe gets the protection. Can he rise to the occasion?
Yeah, and of course he's going to go for Berserk, but oh my god, even then, being kept down with the OG is not going to stop the range of that Berserk punch.
I was going to say maybe the knockback could push him back enough, but it just wasn't quite there, unfortunately.
I think that might have actually been why he used the jump pad with the OG in hand. That might have actually been his plan, but oh my god. Point blank, and FaZe is not going to worry about those because who cares about self-damage when you've got protection?
Well, protection is worn off. They are 3 frags to the good. FaZe, though, fairly weak right now. Picava going to get the 1v1 going versus Dewey, and
what a spawn! What a spawn! Poor old.
What? Dewey things happening over here. He gets the pummel anyway. It's like momentary lapse of concentration from his opponent.
How do you spawn there and still get a kill and not die?
I just don't get it.
Just Dewey things.
And it's things like that can grate on the Pompa players. And these little plays, this kind of crawls under their skin, and it can bring out more opportunities for Myztro.
Only 3 frags separating these teams, so definitely not out of the fight by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, rockets are good from Dewey. He's weak himself, though. FaZe with a double kill. 5 frags in advantage, but we know that we cannot count out Myztro till the time is over in this map. But it looks like we've got a really kind of focused Pompa. And compared to the predictions I was saying earlier, I'm more than happy to bite my lip and say that I was wrong if they're going to carry on like this.
They're looking more composed. There was always a huge risk that after that corrupted keep that they were going to be a little bit more, I guess, not as team focused as they should be for different reasons, but it's not looking like that's the case in Blood Covenant. They're looking just as strong, if not as strong as they've been the whole series. Yeah, Brick, he had to try and push forward. Dewey manages to get the quad. Loads of health and the heavy machine gun. I mean, that is just going to chip away in humongous chunks.
Watch out there. He's got health bubbles and he's got a totem, so things don't look too bad for him, but has to watch out. Is there any information he can get from Brick to know where they are? He should have just found one. But it's time to work back on that frag lead that was built by Pompa.
And Dewey, he's trying to provide support, but he wasn't able to stop Brick from dying because there were so many obstructions there. Here comes the LG, has to watch out for Rail. Pops the Berserk, actually. I wonder if, for the sound to play, he must have used it, which means... might be a pause. I'm wondering if that's spectator or whether that's server side. I know sometimes the server can pause on a spectator client. The players don't necessarily get it, but we'll find out later.
Well, either way, it's like Brick's been suffering the most, actually. 8 for 13. Otherwise, kind of fairly even across the board between all of them. Now Brick, he needs to step his game up.
It's definitely not too late for it. Trying to get that return rail. Misses a couple. Unfortunately, with every missed rail, it gives the teammate the opportunity to close in and actually, turn the fight in their favor. Combo for days. FaZe goes down to another totem.
And it's all those missed rails, they can kind of grate on you as well. He's going to get the heavy, hits another one. He's like, please support from somewhere, Brick. Do I have to take them down myself?
Almost did. To be fair, to his credit, he almost did.
Yeah. He's still alive after that. He's got a totem. His stack is still good. Rocket to follow up, and the rail as well.
Dewey is
Loads
playing
of damage.
so well. I just really hope that he can sort of maintain this. He's out of rails. That's unfortunate. Brick cleans up.
Perfect from Brick. Really, really nice support.
Back down to 3 frag difference, 20 seconds until protection. If Myztro can secure this protection and keep this train going, are you serious, Dewey?
Awesome stuff from him. They're going to find, was that Picava on the sideline then? My mistake.
Dewey's going to have to be careful.
Look at the comeback that's happened. It's 1 frag between them all of a sudden. The Berserk comes out, but that should be Dewey getting this.
And I feel like he popped the Berserk so early as well. He wasn't really able to get much going with it. Because if you're stuck to melee only against rockets, you're dead.
Yeah, completely. He's just found another. That's going to be FaZe going down.
Hello, here we go. 28 to 28 now.
We've got a game on our hands right now, Catch Up. I do not know which way this is going to go, but I'm only going to go by history in terms of what my prediction would be.
He did try and get that unchallenged.
And Picava need to hold it together right now, but Dewey lands pretty much every rail.
I'm actually surprised that Picava actually stayed there to plant the totem, to be honest with you. But he did get away with it.
Dewey's got his totem back. He's going to plant one by heavy machine gun. He's going to wave goodbye to that. Also 100 damage incurred. Tries to help out Brick. Can't really go through the teleporter again because Picava is over the other side.
He went to the jump pad because he really tried to get that mega FaZe going in with the Berserk. But if he's point blank, it's going to be slightly harder to aim the LG.
Yeah, you need to be able to get some distance before you can go over that LG. The only other alternatives you really have is go for the pummel because you can get that 75 damage, same amount of damage from a punch.
I feel like the pummel versus the Berserk isn't what it used to be. I feel like it kind of, once they kind of changed the properties of the lunge, it's actually a lot easier for Doomslayer to punch you before the pummel actually connects.
True. Oh, Dewey.
Hello.
Last second attack, but we're getting these exchanges going on all the time. 1 frag for 1, but Dewey's heading these important rails. And FaZe deciding he doesn't want to run into totems on this map, clearing them out. Much nicer. I want to check out these Pompa guys for at least the next few moments.
Picava's in a dangerous position because he hasn't really got a lot of stack, so he can't overextend. And again, with 20 seconds left until we see the quad, I wonder if it's going to be, do we see Picava go down, try and sneak up behind and get some health before, or does he go down now and not able to fight for it at all? He has just gone down. The rail connects from Brick.
Oh my God.
FaZe loses as well.
This is really, really bad. Picava's not close enough, so I don't know what the spawn's going to be like for FaZe. Last second rush, but it's against the LG. There's a totem there. FaZe is over by the quad, but he can't get his hands on it. Brick, he's got no mega that's spawning soon. Right now, it's about not giving it away, but he's going to give it over to Dewey, which is really the only alternative.
I think so. He had rail, so he could have maybe bet things on rail, but if you miss a rail and go down, they're just going to take it for free. Dewey is 100% going to chase this. Has to watch out for the totems, of course, but he's going to be more than ready. What?
Brick got a gauntlet kill somehow. Okay.
Okie dokie.
He's going to find one down at the bottom. Machine gun at the top, 120 damage. That's a good switch. I like that from Dewey.
And even if he doesn't get a frag from this quad, he's putting them so far behind because they're weak. Forced in a bad situation. Quad ran out half a second, not even that, before he fired that rocket. So he does live to fight another day. Dewey knowing he can be confident here. FaZe goes down. Dewey, plenty of life left.
Myztro, in the closing moments of the game, have built themselves a bit of an advantage. Pompa, have you got anything else to share with us in this Dreamhack Tour story?
I feel like it's not even a matter of just Myztro being able to take the lead. I think it's Pompa not being able to maintain a lead for an entirety of a map. We saw the same thing on Corrupted Keep. Are they running out of steam? Are these guys burning out almost?
It's possibly. I mean, it is a really psychologically challenging thing happening at an event like this. Yeah, that was definitely some damage taken. He's trying to rush forward, help a little bit with Brick over there. Picava's going to be able to deal with that. They've made it a 2 frag difference now. But it's also now getting to the closing games for Myztro, and although they are experienced, this is the really important bit. This is the last 3.5 minutes where we decide who goes over to day 2.
This is the moment some crucial mistakes get made. Brick following it through with the LG, but it gets traded. But you know Myztro, they really wanted that to be unreturned. Here comes the protection. This could be the game-winning protection right here.
Yeah, every power-up. If they get to the
Brick's
quad after, that's also important.
Uh-oh. Brick was completely alone. Going in with the totem, but it's not enough. He went in for the big boy plays, and it didn't work. I wonder if that's going to be the deciding factor.
Well, let's see. Picava. He's gonna want to get a couple of frags from this. I don't think he's going to want to go totally mental, but if they can lock down an advantage moving into, well, quad,
it's
then he'll
not
look
working
better.
out. He's been able to top himself up, though. Yeah, FaZe comes in to save the day.
Brick does get a frag onto FaZe though.
1-1.
It's yeah, 39-39. You've got about 5 seconds left or so of this power-up. They're not finding opponents. Myztro have done a remarkable job at staying alive.
That was a win for Myztro. They took a 1-1. They stayed in the exact same situation for that protection. They will all day take that.
This means that it's going to go down to quad, most likely, to see who's going to win. I suspect we're going to get comfortably another minute of play with this amount of frag between them. Dewey gets the kill. FaZe. Can he survive?
Understanding that he's so weak. Has tried
God.
oh my god, he goes in for Berserk, but not before he takes damage that he can't really do anything about. And from that point, Machine Gun will do it. I love the weapon switch.
Oof. Dewey takes care of that totem before he takes the 100 damage. And Brick holding on to power-up area at the moment. He's expecting to be double-teamed a little bit.
Actually, I love this angle. Brick's holding this area with the rocket launcher, and Dewey just comfortably far away and was able to rail anyone that challenged him. But bad jump right into all those nails.
But this is a big take. He's going to rocket jump up. He gets a really good.
Oh my god,
What
Dewey
is that
again?
damage? He died, but he did about the same amount of damage over to the Pompa players at the same time. So they have to be licking their wounds, healing up with the health bubbles around the map. There's only one frag between them.
And while they're running around to take health, they're not fighting for the power-up room. Uh-oh. Hang on a minute. FaZe uses Berserk now.
That's quite early. He's not going to be able to do a last-second rush
Definitely
like
not.
he did before. Brick's weaponry isn't too bad. He's found them both. This is good early damage before we can move over to the power-up.
You know, he got one frag there, sure, but I'm wondering if he might live to regret it.
He's looking for damage with rockets.
Oh, wow.
He's on his own. Pompa, they can secure this one. They're 2 frags at the edge right now. 44 health left for FaZe.
He didn't even need Berserk. He just needed good movement and damn good rocket placements.
We saw from... Oh, Dewey takes down Picard, so there's now 1 frag between them. Now, if Myztro can survive this without taking a frag from quad...
And he's going to be aggressive. He's got the LG with plenty of ammo. That's got to be a kill. It has to be. Goes in for the totem. Tries to pummel again, but he's not going to fall for the same thing twice.
Well, what can you do in that instance? You've got to do something silly to try and get something, but only a couple of kills. We've got 20 seconds to go, guys.
I feel like this is Pompa's map to lose.
Yeah.
FaZe being this stacked, having the equipment he's got access to. Misses the rail.
They need to survive at the moment. He's going in for kills, but at the moment, all he really needs to do is survive. 10 seconds left. We've got a 1-for-1 exchange. FaZe is weak. Brick, they're going to need to rush at the moment. 6 health left. Dewey had no chance but to really go for the play.
Go.
It is done. Pompa with 47 to 44 do manage to hold on and take themselves through to day 2.
I'm impressed. I am absolutely impressed with how well Pompa were able to keep that together. We were concerned after map number 2, and in certain points of Blood Covenant, I think we were a bit worried as well. But I gotta say, hats off to these guys. They were able to both get the run back and win a second time. So they're able to show that they've been able to beat these, you know, quite the giants of North America, really, in Myztro USA. Among other top teams, of course. But I think the Pompa guys can be feeling really good about that. And their prize,
And relieved as
their
well.
prize is going to be qualification for day number 2.
100%. That's definitely testing times for Pompa. We almost saw them crumble a little bit there. I do think very marginally they are the better team, and I think we could see how close they were in skill level at the end. Disappointing, obviously, to see Myztro USA go out this early on in the tournament, but the groups are so hard for basically everybody. At